Good morning, everybody. So I'll be presenting Integrated Marine Environment Monitoring System, which is a tool for law enforcement and compliance promotion. Next slide, please. We are an archipelagic country. Our ocean is a vital part of our life as a country and our economy. The Philippine waters, which totals to 220 million hectares, provides abundant marine resources that contributes to the country's economy. As a matter of fact, our water is 7 times larger than our land. This compounds our fight against IUU fishing and our drive towards sustainable fisheries even more. In 2017, the Philippines ranked 9th among the top fish-producing countries in the world. The fishing industry's contribution accounts for 1.2 to 1.3% of the country's GDP. Further, it engages and benefits 1.9 million Filipinos in various fishing activities. For us to be able to maintain, if not further develop, this industry, protection of our waters is necessary. There is also a dire need to protect economically valuable fish stocks, which through the years have ensured our place in international fish trade. Aside from its vast size and its contribution to economy, our waters, taking into account its geographical location, is frequented with different perils and calamities. We find it difficult, if not too costly, to put permanent law enforcement infrastructures at sea. Of course, the sea can be very dangerous compared to land. With these issues, there is an urgency to find ways to smartly manage our waters by eliminating its risks and maximizing its gains. Such involves implementing an effective and integrated system that will provide us with eyes and ears in every corner of our waters. The vastness of our waters does not only provide us with abundant benefits, but also poses greater challenge to government and stakeholders in managing it sustainably and in protecting it against IUU fishing. The DABFAR remains committed and is ready to face this challenge. The implementation of the Integrated Marine Environment Monitoring System, or IMEMS, is one of our strategies in carrying out this commitment. So why is there a need to invest in an integrated system? We need a system to know what is happening in our oceans, our maritime domain, to monitor and track fishing activities in our oceans, to observe, analyze, and predict conditions of our ocean and our stocks, to document and trace fish catch from fishing activities in a simplified, real-time, and verifiable way in order to protect, conserve, manage maritime resources, and to intensify our fight against IUU fishing. So the next slide will show us the timeline that leads to the birth of what is now known as the IMEMS project. So in 2010, BFAR started with a Philo 1 project, and this is practically in compliance to our regional obligations, particularly at the time with the WCPFC, or Western and Central Pacific Fisheries Commission. So the Philo project is actually a small scale, or a smaller scale than that of the IMEMS project, because of the fact that it covers only vessels that are engaged in distant fishing, and mainly what is being, the data that are being that are produced by the Philo 1 project is mainly on the data on the vessel tracks of those vessels. In 2011, the National Coast Watch Center was organized through an executive order issued by the then president. This National Coast Watch Center provides for a platform of collaboration among agencies of government that are tasked to guard our maritime domain. So practically, in that particular platform, IUU Fishing has been thoroughly discussed. In 2015, BFAR started to use the VIIRS, or the Visible Infrared Imaging Radiometer Suite, for monitoring compliance with seasonal closures and municipal water encroachment. This has been very productive and helpful for BFAR's law enforcement. And because of this, in 2016, picking up from the gains of the VIIRS, BFAR decided to upgrade its VMS capability by coming up project proposals for the now IMEMS project. So the proposal was submitted with the NEDA and with the DBM, NEDA for approval and DBM for allotment of budget. So in 2018, the efforts of BFAR paid off, and then the government of the Philippines decided to invest 2.1 billion for such technology for the IMEMS project, spread over 4 years. This is embedded in our GAA and covered by a multi-year obligational authority. So from then on, we started implementing the IMEMS project. So what is an IMEMS project? What is IMEMS? Well, IMEMS is a single optimized integrated national fisheries management system for all commercial fishing vessels and regions. So this will, cover all commercial fishing vessels and all throughout the country, regardless of the vessel, whether fishing domestically or in distant waters. It is also a single integrated data set and functionality accessible by multiple DABFAR stakeholders and operators across the country. So the good thing about our IMEMS project is that it can provide multi-access depending on who will be allowed with such access based on the regulation that will be issued by the DABFAR. It is also a continuous and automatic mass-scale data acquisition and accumulations. So this is not this is a growing and continuing project, and then data accumulation goes on. This also provides for advanced data analytics and management functionality, and it has integrated communication, licensing, and enforcement. Okay. So the next slide will show us the components of the project. So we have vessel monitoring. So this is practically referring to the transceivers installed in every commercial fishing vessel. Port and coastal monitoring. Port and coastal monitoring refers to the sensors, terrestrial sensors. We have towers. We have buoys. Electronic reporting. So this also refers to the reporting of fish catch by the vessel and also of the observers. So there are data that are being reported by the observers. Satellite marine domain awareness. So this refers to the data feed coming from satellite. Ocean resource information, meteorological, environmental, and production. So this practically provides real-time meteorological and environmental data of areas where our buoys with sensors are located. National Marine Data Center, and then Regional Fisheries Monitoring Center. So practically, our IMEMS infrastructure will work this way. So we have the fishing vessels that this is equipped with transceivers and ERS. So we have 5,000 transceivers installed to the different commercial fishing vessels. Then signal will be transmitted by the transceivers. Initially in the coastal stations, if it is within the range of the coastal stations, and the PCMS type towers. These are land-based sensors as well as the maps. Practically, the coverage is actually up to 40 nautical miles. So the signal will be transmitted if within that particular range in around every 3 to 5 minutes. Then if the vessel goes out of that range, the satellite will now pick up the signal. So the transmission of the transceivers will now be 1 hour every 1 hour. Okay, so all the data or the data gathered by the satellite, coastal stations, and then the towers will be thrown to the National Marine Data Center, which is located in BFAR Central Office. It will be processed there. And then the data can be viewed by the National Fisheries Monitoring Center. We have here in BFAR Central Office, and another backup center will be put up in Navotas. And then all this data will be shared by our regional fisheries monitoring centers. So there are 15 of those regional fisheries monitoring centers. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay. So what do we expect upon the completion of the project that will be in 2021? So practically, we will be able to track all fishing vessels with VMS in real time. So we will also be able to have electronic reporting and management of fishing licenses, catches, and landing. We will also be able to monitor and analyze marine and aquatic environmental data, especially those that are valuable to our fish stocks. We can also have automated analytics to detect illegal and suspicious maritime activities such as IUU Fishing and full alert management system, real-time and verifiable way. And we can also put up geofences of protected areas as well as areas under closed seasons. Okay, so these are some of the common things that you can see on the monitoring centers of the IMEM. So those are the pictures there. Okay. So what does this mean for us? What is the implication of us having the IMEM's project completed? One, it promotes compliance through real-time tracking of commercial fishing vessel and ECATS documentation. So practically, if you're talking of compliance, the requirement for vessel monitoring system is being required domestically by our law, by the Fisheries Code, as well as by our regional counterparts in the WCPFC area and in other regional fisheries management organizations. So this is now a widespread requirement all throughout the world. It also will improve definitely ocean governance through ocean data analysis and stock modeling. And it will also protect fishers at sea to real-time tracking of location and vessel data and activation of emergency alerts. Because, you know, through the system, we can directly talk to the vessel and the vessel talk to us, even if they are in a remote area of the waters. Next slide, please. So caveat in closing, so IMEMS is one smart strategy to fight IUU fishing through real-time tracking, identification and management of all Philippine vessels remotely and at sea for effective enforcement. IMEMS will need to work alongside with other tools like policy, science, and behavior change. But more importantly, a whole of society approach where government, fishing industry, academe, civil society, fishing communities are working together to fight IUU fishing in our vast Philippine waters. This ends my presentation. Thank you very much.